Did you know that in ancient Chinese texts, it is said, "The wise man differs from the fool, not because he knows all the answers, but because he knows which questions not to answer"? Confucius taught his students, there are questions that seem harmless, even friendly, but behind them hides a cunning strategy to gain power over you. Today, we will analyze 5 trap questions that manipulators and liars have used for thousands of years to control people. Chinese wisdom will teach us to recognize these traps. The last question is the most insidious, the one that breaks even the most cautious. Question number 1. Why are you so nervous? Or its variations. You seem tense. Why are you so worried? It looks like care and concern, right? But in reality, this is classic manipulation. In modern psychology, it's called emotional induction. Where is the trap? When you start answering, you automatically agree that you really are nervous even if you're not. You start making excuses. I'm not nervous, it's just, and that's it. You've fallen into the trap. You have shifted the focus of the conversation to defending your emotional state. An ancient Chinese parable tells of a student of Confucius who complained to his teacher, "I was asked why I was angry, even though I wasn't angry. I started explaining and only got more confused." Confucius replied, "When you are accused of something you did not do, silence is your shield. Explanations are a sword pointed at your own chest. What to do instead of answering? Simply and calmly say, 'I'm fine.'" Let's get back to the topic of conversation. Or use the mirror technique. Funny. Why do you think I'm nervous? Let's return to what we were talking about. The manipulator is trying to throw you off balance to gain an advantage. Do not give him that power. Question number 2. Don't you trust me? This is one of the favorite weapons of emotional manipulators. They ask this question when you set healthy boundaries or when you ask to verify what someone is telling you. Where is the trap? The question creates a false dilemma. Either you trust completely and unconditionally, or you are a bad person who doesn't know how to trust. But in reality, trust and caution are not opposites. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said, "Trust but verify." Heaven trusts the earth, but every morning sends light to see it. When you start to make excuses, "No, I trust you, it's just," you've already lost. You begin to feel guilty for daring to be reasonable and cautious. What to do instead of answering? Calmly say, "Trust and verification are not contradictions." This is not distrust. This is common sense. Or even simpler, my trust has nothing to do with this. Let's talk about the facts. Remember, a person who truly deserves your trust will never pressure you with this question. He will understand your caution. Question number 3. What are you hiding from me? This question comes from a presumption of guilt. It assumes in advance that you are hiding something, and now you must prove otherwise. Where is the trap? Any answer you give will sound like an excuse. "I'm not hiding anything" sounds exactly like what someone who is hiding something would say. You find yourself in a defensive position, even though you have done nothing wrong. An ancient Chinese proverb says, "An honest man does not need to make excuses before a fool, because the fool still will not understand the truth." The manipulator uses this question to break through your personal boundaries, to obtain information that is none of their business, and to make you feel guilty for no reason. What to do instead of answering? Set a clear boundary. Every person has the right to personal space. That doesn't mean hiding something. Or answer a question with a question. Why do you think I'm hiding something? Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not total control. If someone asks you this question often, it's a warning sign. Perhaps the problem is not your secretiveness, but that this person themselves has something to hide. Question number 4. Do you think you're better than others? Or do you think you're the smartest? The fourth trap question appears when you refuse to do something wrong. Stay true to your principles. Choose your own path instead of following the crowd. Where is the trap? The question tries to shame you for having standards and values. It preys on the fear of being rejected by the group to make you give up your principles. You start to make excuses. No, I don't think I'm better. It's just that you've already fallen into the trap. You are apologizing for having your own opinion and defending your boundaries. Confucius said, "If I am not myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I?" The meaning is that you have the right to defend your interests and values while maintaining humility and respect for others. What to do? Instead of answering, calmly reply, "I don't think I'm better. I'm just making the decision that's right for me." Or, "Everyone has their own path. I respect yours. You respect mine." Do not let anyone shame you for living by your principles. Those who try to knock you off your path often do so because your example reminds them of their own weakness. And finally, the fifth question, the most insidious. You won't get offended if I tell you the truth, will you? Or, you won't get angry? You won't be offended? You won't judge me? This is the most sophisticated trap of all. It disguises itself as a polite request for permission. It looks as if the person cares about your feelings. Where is the trap? The question creates an impossible situation. If you answer no, I won't be offended, you give permission to say something offensive, and then you won't be able to defend yourself. If you answer yes, I will be offended, you come across as closed off or overly sensitive. Either way, you lose. An ancient Chinese parable says, if someone begins their words with the phrase, "I don't want to offend you," but you can be sure that what follows will indeed offend you. A true friend and an honest person does not need permission to offend you. They will either say what they think with respect and tact without a warning, or remain silent. What to do instead of answering? Say, "That depends on what exactly you're going to say." Speak directly, or even stronger. If you're afraid I'll be offended, maybe you should think about whether it's worth saying at all. This reverses the manipulation and returns the responsibility to the one who asked the question. Dear friends, Lao Tzu said, "He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know." This is not a call to complete silence. It is a reminder. Wisdom is not only knowledge, but also the ability to protect yourself from those who want to use your words against you. Do not be afraid to set boundaries. Do not be afraid to remain silent when a question is asked to trap you. Confucius said, "The silence of the wise is worth more than the words of the fool." If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with those who might benefit from it. And remember, the one who knows which questions not to answer is already halfway to wisdom.